Hello guys, I'm Javier Fuenmayer for Murphy's Magic, and thank you so much for picking up The Perfect Pen by John Cornelius. As you know, you can do a lot of penetration effects with this pen, and it's actually the improved version of his Pen Through Anything, where now everything is absolutely self-contained within the pen. That means you have nothing to take out or ditch or bring in. You have nothing to worry about. All you need is the pen, the bill, and you're going to be able to blow some minds. So without any further ado, let's take a look at what you receive inside of your box. As you know, inside you're going to have the card that holds the instructions and password and your pen. That's pretty much it, because you don't need anything else. The only thing you have to provide is your own bill. So let's take a closer look at how this pen works, and then we'll get into all the fine details of the routine. So it's time to learn how this incredibly ingenious pen works. I remember the first time I saw how this worked, my mind was completely 100% blown. So let's take a look at it. Basically, you just remove the pen, you can hand it out. They can put the cap back on. Everything works just as it should. It's only when you apply a little bit pressure on the barrel against the back of the cap here. So if I just put the cap on and just push a little bit more, you'll see a secret compartment shows up. And that detaches from the pen. And it's this piece together with this piece that when you put it through the bill, it creates the illusion that the pen is going through the bill. So that's pretty much it. Once you're done, all you have to do is push it back, and the pen is completely 100% examinable, because everything is self-contained. So now that you know how this pen works, let's take a look at how to put those workings in the context of a routine. Now, I'm going to show you something absolutely unbelievable with this pen, which, by the way, you can completely check out and examine as much as you want. After you've done that, I'll ask for a bill. So can I borrow a bill? And that bill can actually be signed by the spectator. Now, all I need to do is find a spot on that bill. For instance, let's say right there where George is. All we do is just poke it right through, piercing the fibers of the bill. As you can see, the pen right through the bill with your name on it, and I'll visually pull it right out. And it's at that moment that absolutely everything can be handed out to be examined. Nothing is stolen or added or taken away. It's an absolute miracle. I love it. Now, let's learn how to do the very basic routine with the perfect pen. So go ahead, get yourself a pen, your pen, and then grab a bill. Now, for this explanation, I'm going to be using a clear bill so that you can very easily follow along. Okay, so once you get your bill, once you have your pen, you already know how to engage the pen. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to open it up by just applying a little bit of pressure there and pushing it against the cap. That's going to reveal the gimmick, and this is all you have to do. Now, as you talk about where you're going to be stabbing the pen, you bring the pen underneath the bill, as you can see. Notice how the tip of the gimmick is going to go in between the index finger and that middle finger. I'm just going to put it right in between both, apply a little bit of pressure with my thumb, and now I'm going to disengage the magnets as I rotate the pen into my hand. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want them to see that part of the pen is now missing, right? So we're here, we get close. Now I'm going to rotate the pen, or what would have been the tip of the pen, into my hand. As you can point at your bill, that's going to hide the fact that the pen is now missing the tip. It's underneath the bill. Now all you have to do is come up, and on your way down, you're just going to slowly bring the pen towards the bill so that the magnets engage, and you just let that piece, the tip of the pen, attract to the pen. And now it's going to create the illusion that the pen is going through that bill. Okay? Once you have that, now you can either show it here, you can bring it up to your face and show them. It just depends on which pull out you're going to be doing. So in the case of the basic routine that we did, we're just going to pull it straight out. Now, if you pull the pen straight back as if the pen was actually going through the bill, the piece will fall. I'm trying to do it slow. Let me see here. So if I just pull back, the piece will fall, okay? So we have to pull the pen almost like at a 45-degree angle as we also pull the bill like so. As you can see, it just slides off of the corner. So we're just going in this direction. It's almost like instead of going straight back and forth, we're going to go 45 and 45. 45 degrees back, 45 degrees the other way, and that should give us the illusion that the pen is going straight through the bill. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go over the routine very quickly now just so you can follow it. And then I'll show you how to close the gimmick so that you can hand it out for it to be examined. So once again, we have the bill in the hand. We're going to bring the gimmick together right in between the index and middle. We're going to disengage as we point or as we talk. If you don't like pointing, you can just talk as you have the pen like this. Once you're ready, you come down, you make the magnets attract, you display that the pen is going through the bill, and once again, I'll do it very slowly. We're just moving away in this direction, and it'll appear as if the pen is going straight through the bill. Okay? Now, you have to hand the pen out to be examined as well as the bill. So it's very, very simple. The way I like to do it is I bring the pen to the hand that's holding the bill, and I'll show you from the back. All I do is grab the tip, and in that same motion, I'm going to take the barrel and pull it down, okay? So here, as I continue to put the pen into that hand, I'm going to continue that motion and close it as I hand everything out to my spectator on my left, okay? So once again, we're here, the gimmick is open. We're gonna just take the pen, and as we bring it to the other side, we're just going to close the gimmick, and then it can be handed out to be examined. Another way in which you can close your gimmick, so right now we have the gimmick open, is just to reverse the actions that we did before. So you're just going to take the cap off, and as you put it back on, you're going to slide the barrel into the cap, and that's going to close your gimmick as well. So whether you do it as you put the hand into the other hand to hand out the pen, or you do it by just closing the pen, that's completely up to you. I will tell you that when you use this version, where you just hand the pen to your spectator, there is going to be a sound that shouldn't be there, right? If you pay attention, I won't talk. There's a little clicking sound that shouldn't be there as you hand the pen. So you can cover that by talking. And if you think you're not going to be able to cover that by talking, I will say, number one, don't worry about it. But number two, if you are worried about it, then just go ahead and use the other version where you close the pen like this, because the cap is touching the pen, and that should make a sound. So the gimmick closing will be justified by you just closing the pen. Now the negative of closing the pen like that is that there is one angle in which the gimmick becomes exposed. That's why when I showed you guys, I took the cap off this way, and I never showed you the back of this pen. if I show you the back of the pen, you'll see that it looks more like a straw rather than a pen. So just be aware whenever if you do use the reset or the closing of the gimmick, if you do use the cap version, just make sure you know that nobody can see this side of the pen. So that's the basic routine. Let's take a look at what else we can do with the perfect pen. Now let's take a look at one more way in which you can take your perfect pen and penetrate it through your spectator's borrowed bill. So we're gonna open up a little spot here for the bill, and for the pen, and you can see it right there in the middle. Just gonna push it right through. You can hear it a little bit more probably, just like that, and it goes right through the bill. Now instead of just pulling it out, I can rip the bill, a little massage, and it's 100% perfect. So you can hand out your pen, the bill, absolutely everything to your spectators. Everything's examined. Everything is 100% as it shouldn't be, because it should have a rip and a hole and all that stuff, but you have magically healed it. We are here because you want to learn how to do the penetration you just saw, so let's get into it. I'm going to use this clear bill, okay, and the perfect pen. You're going to start exactly like you did with the previous version. You're just going to open up the gimmick like so. Once you know that you have it engaged and you can remove the piece, now you're going to fold the bill like so. Okay, so lengthways, we're going to do it like that, and pretty much what people would say a hamburger. Okay, now you're going to bring the pen, or at least the tip of the pen, for a split second or a few seconds behind the bill. Okay, so right now the pen is behind the bill. I'm going to use my thumb to grab the tip as I disengage the magnet and bring what should have been the tip of the pen into my hand so that they don't know that the tip is missing. We know that the tip is now secretly behind the bill. So right here, it's behind, just like that. The pen is hidden in the hand. And now what you're going to do is open up the bill so that you can put the pen inside, or in the middle, right? What's really happening is you're just putting this part of the pen inside of the bill, and it's attaching to the magnet piece or the tip of the pen that's behind the bill. From the front, it's going to give the illusion that the pen is inside. It's a little bit difficult with the plastic. I know you see me struggling, but so right here, it would give the illusion that the pen is going, or it's inside of the bill. I'm going to show you that with the bill so that you see exactly what I mean. So just like so, it should give the illusion that the pen is inside of the bill. We know that it's not. It's really going through behind there. Okay, so if we were to take a look at what it looks like from the back, this is what's happening. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to take that off as I fix the bill, or as I open it. That's why the pen went into this hand, right? Now I'm going to pretend to put it inside of the bill, and that is how our setup works. In speed, we're here, we fix the bill, open it up, and put it inside. From the front, it should look like you're opening up the bill just to put the pen inside, when in reality, we are ready to do our penetration. Now I'm going to go back to our clear bill so you can see it in action, see-through, right? So here you go. Here's the pen. You're here. We come over, we fix that, and we put it inside. And there is, there's the move. I will do it now slowly so you can follow it. So we're here. Grab it as we open up the bill to put in the pen. All right, that's it. Now that you're in this situation, all you have to do is push the pen down, and as you'll see, it will follow it. Now, when you use the bill, it's also going to create or give you the sound as if it's ripping. And it's just because the magnets are kind of scraping the bill, and it just sounds like it's ripping. So that's pretty much it. After you have not slowly, but after you have penetrated the bill like so, because it's the plastic, it's just going to the side. But after you have done that, you can now show it. You close it up, and now you can rip the bill. So you can take the pen and just move it to the side. Of course, nothing's happening. We're not really ripping the bill. It's just coming off. Now, you open it up, and you can show that is completely healed, and it doesn't have a hole, and it doesn't have a rip. We can do the same exact thing to reset this or to close it by just bringing it from one hand to the other as we close it and hand it to a spectator, or as you just cap the pen, you close the gimmick and you hand it out to be examined. Another thing that you want to remember is to make sure that you really do give your spectators the illusion that the pen is inside of your bill. And what I mean by that is I could have this set up perfectly, but right now you would have absolutely no clue whether that pen is inside of the bill, behind the bill. There's no way for you to know. That's what I mean by giving your spectators a proper illusion of that pen being inside of the bill. And the way you do that is by making sure that they can see the back of the bill, the pen, and then the front of the bill. Because this doesn't really say much, but this really says a lot. So this picture, you can clearly tell that that pen is right inside of that bill. Another thing that you can do to create more depth is not have it so straight like I've had it, but you can also give it a little bit of an angle, and that's going to give you now all the layers are separate. So you have your bill, you have your pen, and then you have the next part of your bill. So make sure when you are in this portion of your routine, you are giving your spectators a very good illusion that that pen is inside of the bill. So that's pretty much this version of making the pen go through the bill. I will mention that you can use this penetration as the second phase to your basic routine, and now you have a more complete routine that's a little bit more put together. I will also say that you always want your phases of your routines to get progressively more impactful or more difficult to do so that the magic is stronger. So the first phase, you're just going straight through the bill and you're pulling out the pen and then it gets healed. You can then say, while you do this version, that you're going to put a hole right through the bill again, but this time you're going to rip the bill. So now not only do you have a hole, you also have a rip on the bill that you can then, so if we're here, let's set it up for you. If we're here, we do, let me open it up like that. We put it inside. And now when it goes through, right? When it goes through, let me do it this way so you can see it going out that way. You just pull it out that way, and then you can use your index finger to cover where the rip should be, and that's you healing it. So then you slowly heal the rip, and then you hand it out to be examined, and then you hand the pen out to be examined. So there you go. You can either use this independently, or you can use it together with the basic routine to create a more fuller presentation of the penetration of the bill. I know you guys are going to have a ton of fun performing this. Now, let's take a look at another penetration. Now, usually I bring the hands together with the pen and the bill. Let's not do that. This time, let me just hold it right here at the fingertips, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, and it just goes right through like so, and of course, it comes out just as easily, and everything can be instantly handed out to be examined. So now let's take a look at how to do this. All right, well, I know that I said this one doesn't require you to bring your hands together, but I was just trying to be silly because you need to bring your hands close together. The thing is, it's going to appear as if nothing has happened, okay? So once you have your pen opened, you're going to do the same thing that we did in the basic routine, but just with a little bit more difficulty, because we were using 2 fingers. Now we're going to use only 1 finger. So that's it. All you have to do is when you bring the pen under the bill, and let me use my clear bill. So once I bring the pen under the bill, I'm going to bring it, instead of in between both, I'm just going to put it right smack in the middle of my index finger. The second I do that, I let go. And I do the same thing we've been doing. We swing the pen, or what should have been the tip, into the hand. And now look at this. When I hold this up here, it looks like I'm just holding the bill or this plastic thing. Basically, we should have the gimmick sandwiched in between the bill and the index finger. Okay, so if we take a look right here, you can clearly see that we have the bill, the gimmick, and then your finger. And all of that gimmick is being covered by your index finger. Okay, so this is just giving you that nice illusion that you're just holding the bill in your hand, or in your fingertips, I should say. This is going to be in your hand, exactly like we've had it during this whole explanation. Okay, I'm going to expose this. Now imagine you're also seeing through my finger there. Now, when we're here and we're doing this, nobody can see that this is missing because we're right in front of them, right? So as we go down, I'm aiming right below here, not there because my index finger is there. I'm aiming right below, and I'm using my thumb and index finger to pinch the gimmick down. So basically, look, I'm going to show you like this. I'm pinching it to go down. Ooh. So when you do that, so when you're pinching it to go down, that's when it's going to meet the pen, and you let go. And it should look like the fingers never moved and nothing ever happened, right? So we're here, boom, you're going to bring it down and engaged. So when we're here, it should be 1, 2, 3, and there you go. So once you're here, you can do any pull out that you want. You can either go from the side, or you can just pull it out like so. What we're going to show you now, it's going to make your penetration look absolutely amazing and incredible. But I'm telling you not to do it
because it's illegal.
All right, so now with that out of the way, this is what you will be doing. You're going to take your pen, and let me show you what it looks like when you do the penetration, because now, as you can see, it really looks like that pen went through the bill. And all it is one little addition that we have to add to the gimmick, and that is this right here. So it's just a little piece of bill that you can, I'm not telling you what to do. So I'm just telling you what I have here. I have here a little piece of bill that was somehow ripped off of it. I don't know why. And it has a little piece of double-sided stick tape that attaches to the tip of the Perfect Pen gimmick. So that goes on like that. And then after it became sticked on, look at me using words that don't exist. And now we're going to attach that over there. And the first time you do this, it might be a little bit hard or tough to push it in. So just take the bill, and I'm not telling you to do this. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just sliding this up a little bit, getting it close to the gimmick, and now I'm just sliding that gimmick shut. I will say that it does take a little bit of extra effort for me to open and close it because there's a little bit of material there. So if you find that it is very difficult to open, you can start trimming off parts of the bill. But again, this is just in case you're imagining or dreaming about this, but definitely not actually doing it. I know that you wouldn't do something illegal like ripping a dollar bill. You're much better than that. Now we're going to take a look at how to replace the ink cartridge in your Perfect Pen. For this, you'll need scissors, an extra ink cartridge that comes from any pen. This is like a fancy looking one, but you can find a big pen. As long as it's the cartridge, it's thin like this, you're going to be good. It's also going to be helpful to have a toothpick. You'll need your Perfect Pen and pliers. So we're going to open up the gimmick of our Perfect Pen, and we're going to unscrew it like so. And we're going to set our cartridge on the side. Now that size is important, so do not throw it away. And we will be using the ballpoint or the tip of that pen in a second. So the first thing you'll need, and of course I should mention that I am wearing gloves. That's so that I don't get ink on myself. And we do have paper down here so that we don't get anything dirty. Now, what you want to do is cut about, I'm going to cut half. And the reason I'm cutting about half is because I want to leave some room there just in case I need to trim some extra piece of material there. We need that airflow, and we're leaving a little bit of extra material there for later. So now I'm going to bring it close, or I should say next to the one that was inside of the Perfect Pen. And as you can see, I'm lining it up in the back, and you have to cut it exactly to that size. Now the size is really important. As you can see, the end of that plastic ends right here. So I'm just going to cut right there. Boom. That's ready. And now you're going to take your toothpick, and you're going to use the toothpick to kind of pry open the hole where we just cut. That way, when we bring the nib in, it's going to be way easier to insert it. So now we're going to just push in a little bit. We're widening the entrance of that hole. Now I'm going to pull it out like so. Now we'll set it aside, and now we'll come over and carefully remove with the pliers the tip of your Perfect Pen. And now you're just going to insert it into the new ink cartridge like so. That will now go inside of the tip of your Perfect Pen like so. And then we'll put the top, we'll screw it on. And this is where that size is important, because here I'm going to test how well it is. So I can definitely see that it completely closed. So the gimmick is fully closed. Now I need to make sure that I can write with it and the tip is not pushing in. If the tip would be pushing in, that means the inside cartridge, it's too small, and so it doesn't touch the back of the gimmick here, and it just gets pushed up inside. If that were to happen to you, you would have to get a new pen and cut it a little bit larger. Now, if when you close it, your gimmick, instead of closing all the way, you still have a gap, as you see here, that means your new cartridge is too long. And so the top of it is hitting the top of the inside of your gimmick. And so all you have to do is take it out, trim just a little bit, and then when you put it back in, you'll now have your gimmick, and it should fully and perfectly close, as you can see here, and then you're set and ready to go perform, and now your pen will work exactly as it did when you just got it. Before we say goodbye, I want to take time here to credit the people that deserve credit. For instance, the folded bill penetrating like so. All credit goes to Tom Allen for that. I also want to mention that I wasn't sure when we were first filming the subtlety where the bill actually looks like it's ripped and it's penetrating, the pen is penetrating the bill, where you see that little piece ripped on the bill. That, number one, that's my favorite subtlety, and I absolutely love that. It really creates the illusion that the pen is going through the bill, but all credit goes to the genius mind of Jim Krenz, as well as the very visual pull-through. We are using a slightly different handling, but it looks exactly the same. And now that I'm on that note with Jim Krenz, he actually has a video called Pen Through Anything. It used to be a DVD, but you can now find it as a download. It runs for over an hour long, and he walks you through millions of different, well, I wouldn't say millions, but tons of routines, handlings, when things go wrong, what to do. And that's just him. You also get 5 other incredible magicians teaching you different handlings and different things that you can do with your pen. I'm telling you, with the information that's in there, you're going to be able to probably do a whole entire show with a perfect pen. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Not a whole entire show, but you will be able to do a different trick, probably for every table, anywhere you're performing. Highly, highly recommended. I also want to mention a little handling, or something that we didn't mention in the instructions, which is you do have the option of moving the bill around. Jim Krenz goes over it in the video, but I just want to say that to you. You can move the bill around. Some magicians like it. Others think that it kind of gives away the method, but I'm going to leave that completely up to you. With that said, that's all I have for you with the perfect pen. I want to thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a ton of fun performing with the perfect pen by John Cornelius. I'm Javier Fuenmayer, and we'll see you next time.